Yeah, I started farming at about 20, and when I took over the farm, it had been fairly run down. My father hadn't been well for many years, and the farm he used to buy in cattle and sell them as finished beef, and that was the enterprise on the farm. And the farm was pretty much in two sections with very little fencing and in poor order. So the first job was to reclaim and build sheds and be able to winter cattle inside, which we did, and we were at that programme up to the point where he died, and subsequently I continued that, and then got myself into trouble with the taxman because of inheritance laws. But so for 12 years I gave up farming full-time and took on other jobs, and came back into full-time farming only in '96, and we started then two programmes that were new. We planted 50 acres of forestry then, and that was intended as my pension plan principally. It also produced an income which allowed me to restock the farm and to get fully back into farming. We also went organic at about the same time. I think we started the conversion at '97, and then with the organic conversion we went into suckler cows, and we also introduced sheep to the farm for the first time. The organic horticulture then started when I wanted to take on another guy to work with me, and the idea was that this would provide an income for a second person on the farm. Now it has grown, and there are 3 households depending on the farm, and most of the work is on the horticulture side. Well, horticulture was always there in the background for me. I've been keeping a garden for the house and kept that organically. I've been doing that since I was a teenager. So that was never far away from my thoughts. The decision to do it commercially here on the farm was, as I say, to justify the employment of another person. The horticultural enterprise started out on about 2 acres and has now grown to 14 acres. Again, we started with a small hobby tunnel in the very beginning, and now we have 7 tunnels that extend the season for us. So we're harvesting things like beetroot and carrots at this time of the year. We will shortly start on the tunnel crop of potatoes, and then we also grow in here things that won't successfully grow outside, like the courgettes and cucumbers and tomatoes. In the field we're growing potatoes, carrots, onions, and all the range of brassicas that it's possible to grow, and then we do some odd things like Jerusalem artichokes and Swiss chard and those sorts of things. We grow some sweet corn and strawberries as well. Scale of the horticultural enterprise is about 10% of the area of the farm, and it makes up most of the employment here. There are 6 people working here now. It has potential to grow, but we started out with 1 person, and now there are 6 people and a couple of people helping out in market stalls and so on. Program here is to try and sell everything we produce from the farm as much as possible to the end consumer. So here we have our veg baskets being prepared for delivery this evening. You see the beetroot that has been harvested this morning, you see the scallions that are harvested this morning, the cabbage, and so on. So all these things come from the farm. We supply these to households, individual households, on 50 of the 52 weeks of the year. So the selling of what we produce, the vegetables, is in 3 parts. There's these baskets, and then we have 2 market stalls that we operate on Saturdays. And then the third element of it is a small wholesale business. And we pack a van and we go delivering to some shops and restaurants. And that's once a week, maybe twice a week for some of the local shops. I have never looked at anything as being impossible to do. My view is that what we're doing is capable of being replicated all over the country. Anybody who wants to, and wants to enough, can do exactly what we're doing. We started out, there was nobody doing organic veg in the area, there was nobody doing any direct selling, and we started from scratch and did these things, started in small scale, started with 20 households. We are now supplying about 200 households on a weekly basis. We don't want to get any bigger than that. We're very happy. This is the farm, what the farm is capable of doing. Somebody else 20 miles down the road could do the same thing. Business that's here has plenty of potential. I think we could expand certainly the tunnel crops, and because we're beside Lough parklands, I get lots of inquiries from people who would like to come and visit the farm. So there's potential to develop again into an open farm sort of situation, or to have a farm shop. there are any number of possibilities, and God knows where we'll be in 5 years' time. Certainly, we didn't know where we were going to be when we started out doing this, and it's been progress all the way.